Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I'm back with a really exciting video. I'm excited to start this new series on my channel, and I am going to be recommending books based on astrological signs. So I thought this would just be a really fun thing to do, look at some of the characteristics and traits of people within that astrological group, and then recommend books based on some of the most common or prominent traits that I have found that are related to those people born at that certain time of year. So this first video is going to be for Pisces. So the dates for Pisces are February 19th, which I'm planning on posting this video on February 19th. We'll see how that goes. And it runs until March 20th. And I thought it would be fun to kind of mention some famous authors who are also Pisces. So there is Amanda Gorman, Lois Lowry, Daniel Handler, Sarah J. Maas. So any Sarah J. Maas stands out there. She is a Pisces. John Steinbeck, Marissa Meyer, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So there's some very famous, well-known authors who are also in the Pisces group. You are in good company. And some of the characteristics that I think I'm going to focus on a lot that I really noticed came up a lot for Pisces is the fact that art is very important to them. They like to express emotions and feelings through art. That's a great outlet for them. They also tend to be fairly romantic, so a lot of the books on this list are going to have romance elements in them. They also are very intuitive and can kind of sense how situations are going or intuit different things about people and things along those lines. And I also thought it would be kind of interesting to bring in their element of water, as well as how they are a mutable sign group of people. So the first book that I'm going to recommend, I brought in those elements of water and mutability, which means they change. They're very much into the endings of old things, beginnings of new things. And for that, I decided to go with the Siren by Kiera Cass. Now, Kiera Cass is the author of the Selection series, which is a lot more famous, but this follows a young girl who is turned into a siren, and so her job is to sing and lure these sailors to their deaths. But she ends up falling in love with a mortal man, and she is not allowed to do that, and things ensue from there. So I think this is very fitting because, one, water is an extremely important element in this. Beyond just the fact that people are at sea when she sings to them, the water very much comes into play. And also there's the big overarching theme of ending her old life as a human and the new beginning as a siren and things like that. And also the romance thrown in here. So I do try to include the romance in a lot of these books because Pisces tend to be a little more on the romantic side. So I think this book's romance was very sweet and cute. This is a very easy read, easy to get into. And so I just really feel like this is a good first simple recommendation for Pisces. The next book on this list is one that I chose a lot because of the artistic elements in it, and that is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. She is also the author of Sorcery of Thorns, but I think I like An Enchantment of Ravens better. It is much shorter as well. This is a young adult fantasy novel about a girl who is an artist, and she paints a portrait of a Fey Lord, but she paints human sorrow into his eyes, which kind of shows weakness on his part, and he takes her into the Fey world to kind of clear things up. It's very much a journey story. It's a slow burn romance. There's some angst going on in here, but really our main character expresses herself very much through her art. Her art is very important to her, and art is a very important kind of theme within this book as well, because the Fae cannot create art. They can't create anything with their hands. They can't make things, and so the humans make all their things for them. All the art comes from the humans, so we get to really see the importance of art and creating, and how that is an outlet for our main character, but also how the humans kind of use that to kind of almost be an equalizer-ish with the Fae, because the Fae are so much more powerful. So this book definitely includes the elements that we see a lot in Pisces of expression through art and also the romance. The next book on this list is also a YA fantasy and has very strong romance aspects to it. That is Beauty by Robin McKinley. This is obviously a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so I don't need to go too much into it. It follows this main girl whose father was rich and then he was poor and then they moved and then he stole a rose from a beast castle and she has to go live there in his place. That's the basic premise of the story. Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I absolutely love this retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I think it's probably my favorite Beauty and the Beast retelling. I love the characters. I love the relationship between the Beast and Beauty. I think it is so well done, and I also think that Pisces would really relate to Beauty's sense of liking to be alone at times, to kind of be alone with her thoughts, to read, to just have that solitary time with herself. That's something that came up quite a bit in the Pisces descriptions that I was reading, is that they really enjoy that time to reflect, to really just be with themselves, and they don't always need to have a big group. That's something that definitely is in here, especially since when she is at the castle, it is pretty much just like her and the Beast and then invisible servants that she kind of can interact with, but really not. She doesn't have a lot of friends. So I think that's something that Pisces could definitely get into in this book. Plus, this book is just so good. Even if you're not Pisces, if you're just a book lover and love retellings, this one is amazing. The next book on this list is one that I didn't actually enjoy. It is another YA fantasy, and that is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. This is translated from French, and it really kind of follows a girl who has these magical abilities that when she touches something, she can like see the history of it, and also she can travel through mirrors. And she is betrothed to someone from another island, so they have these like floating island type things in their fantasy world, and she is betrothed to someone from a more brutal and cold island, and she has to go live there, and we kind of follow her story as she does that. And I wasn't a huge fan of this. I thought it was kind of boring and I wasn't really invested in it, but I think an aspect that is going to be fitting for Pisces is this character I feel like is fairly intuitive. She's not extremely outspoken or outgoing, but she does kind of pay attention to things and notice when things are off or when situations feel a little bit tense or those types of things. I feel like this character is fairly intuitive with that, and also she's very intuitive in the aspect that she can read histories of things. She can just see different insights into those types of things. I think that this character would be fairly appealing to a lot of people who match that Pisces description, also because she does like her alone time as well. She's great going and socializing, but she likes to be alone in her museum with her things and just kind of learn and dig deeper into more in-depth history type situations. So I think this would be a great book for Pisces. I didn't love it, but so many people have, so I still recommend it. And the final book on this list is my one and only adult fantasy on here, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. Now, you might think this is kind of an odd addition to the Pisces recommendations, but I feel like I wanted to bring in the more downfall or negative aspects that go along with Pisces as well. And one of them that just kept coming up is that they are very emotionally intuitive and they are very in tune with other people's emotions. So a lot of times they are more giving and they are easily taken advantage of by other people who don't care as much about other people's emotions and feelings. And I think that is so a thing that happens to our main character in here. Fitz just gets taken advantage of left and right. This poor guy cannot catch a break. I feel like he has such a good heart and he just wants to be a good person and to do good things and to have people love him and to do what's right, and it's just so rough on this kid. Fitz is the illegitimate son of a prince, and when his mother's family drops him off to be raised by his royal family, he's kind of taken in by them, but he's not one of them, and he is trained up to be an assassin. Now, poor Fitz, you just feel for him throughout this book. You can tell that he just is so emotionally invested in these people and he just wants to do what is right, and he just gets screwed over all the time. People take advantage of him constantly. It's just so sad. So if Pisces out there who have had this feeling would like a character that they can relate to and commiserate with, Fitz is your guy. Okay, so those are my books that I am recommending for Pisces. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. This has been a lot of fun for me, especially looking into the different characteristics of Pisces, getting to know a little bit more about these astrological signs, and also looking up people who are also Pisces. It was great fun for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more from me and see my future videos recommending books based on the other astrological signs, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon to be notified when I post new content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.